You're listening to 40K Crap Center on the Rogue Trader Network, I guess, with your host, Eagle.
This is the Eagle, the better American version of a Falcon, with 40K Crap Center. This week, we're bringing you the finest in gut feelings, opinions with no factual basis, and incredibly well-volumed ads for businesses slightly affiliated with this podcast. Our first interview today is with Maeve Meaton and his tournament-losing Pure Sisters of Silence.
Hey, it's great to be here, Lav.
Thanks for coming on today, Maeve. Tell us about your tournament.
All right, so I went into this tournament with the Pure Sisters of Silence, which I thought would be absolutely perfect against Grey Knights, which, as we all know, are reigning absolutely supreme in the wake of the Iron Hands drop-off. But for some reason, I went 0-3 in my RTT.
Well, what happened?
Well, I think it was a factor of my opponents never failing armor saves, or me placing my models wrong, or possibly even bad secondary choices on my part. I don't know. I usually win every event with Pure Sisters.
Man, that sounds like a lot of opinions.
Why don't you? Opinions, it's facts.
No, okay, all right. Well, I heard a rumor that you didn't sleep at all the night before the event. That seems like good tournament practice. How come you didn't win?
Well, not only did I not sleep, Lav, but I also did not drink any liquids or eat anything during the game. I went the whole tournament just like I always do. And last year, I took second at OVL.
Wow. Those
the
all
smallest event in 40K history.
Those all seem like really great, and those seem like really great practices, and they feel like the right choices to me. Thanks for that, Maeve. Let's hit that lump.
Fantastic. Hey, welcome to 40K Crap Center. I'm your host, John, joined as always by
Danny
and
Dave.
Yeah, and we're here. I got to tell you guys, I was just lying in bed one night, and in my head, all of a sudden, all I heard was 40K Crap Center. It's like crap like Stat Center, but the opposite. And then the only thing I could not get out of my head the whole night, like 20 minutes, I couldn't fall asleep. It was just like, the ads are the same volume as the rest of the podcast.
I was thinking maybe it was a podcast about 40K players playing craps.
Oh. I mean, that could be. I would have the same win rate. That's for sure there. Yeah.
7.
Hey. Oh, so now I have eagle sound effects on the board. So thanks for that.
Hell yeah!
I have some nice little things there.
Some stuff with the laser
and explosions and yeah.
What was that recording? Like a minute and a half, 2 minutes tops. Took us 40 minutes to actually get everything together to do it.
Talk through it.
Dave, we're unscripted. We winged that the entire time. So
we're pros.
Hey, as a fellow Rogue Trader Network member, Dangly Boys, DANGLIBOYZ, for the YouTube commentator who reminded me that I forgot to leave any links or descriptions or spellings of other shows in the last episode, likes to point out he thinks we're scripted.
Just spelled it all out.
I did. Next up is after that break, I'm going to spell out for 40 Cabal, NC 40 Cabal. I'm going to spell out their web address letter by letter.
And don't forget the High Lords too. We'll have to do that too.
High Lords of Terra too. Yeah, definitely going to do all those guys. Look at those.
That's like 4 words. That's like 20 letters. Man, your text to speech is going to go crazy if you're, or speech to text, I guess. In this case,
we're going to get sued by the Emperor has a speech to text device.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah,
it doesn't say much these days.
I couldn't be less afraid. Yeah.
Oh no, 2D animation. My only weakness.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too.
But hey, a lot's gone on the past couple of weeks here. Danny and I played in a GT that was far too long.
Oh yeah. No, Dave played in a 2 technically.
I did. I started off.
Dave, thank you for helping us get to numbers.
You know what? I had no problem doing that, and you know what? I got in 2 fun games, and so that was good.
So yeah, let's start with you, Dave. What have you been up to the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, tell us all about it, Dave.
Tell us about it.
Well, besides being quarantined away from the rest of you guys.
Socially isolated, I believe,
Yeah,
is the correct term.
Yeah, well, John and I are in Mob Rule Studio A.
Yeah.
Oh, are you, Denny? I thought you were calling in from your house.
No. I'm here in person, live, if you will. Well, live for this recorded podcast.
So now, by the way, I'm absolutely making a new intro, totally ripping off Stat Center with Danny the Eagle and Dave and John.
Maeve meeting.
Maeve meeting. God, I love Maeve.
He's great. Good guy.
Yeah, that guy's okay.
No, so, as everybody should be practicing social distancing, as they call it.
There you go.
Should.
I've been practicing social isolation since I was 13. Finally got called up to the big leagues.
Yeah, the sock with the googly eyes doesn't count.
Your time to shine, John.
That's genital isolation. I have also been
that's
practicing
that's a different thing.
I think we've all practiced that.
No, what you were doing is general mutilation.
Genital strangulation. That's what it is.
Okay, sure. Man, now that we put in these excellent dick jokes,
Right.
Dave, why don't you tell us about your games at this GT you went to?
Let me mute myself so that I don't
please.
interrupt you.
Okay. So before the tournament, I'd been working on our commitments for our narrative stuff, which we unfortunately can't do, obviously.
Yeah, it's Dave's fault it's not happening, not the fact that I didn't paint my narrative portion.
Yeah, I totally painted them.
Keep the curtains drawn, John. Nobody wants to see your tiny Terminators. Yeah.
That's Danny as the Tiny Terminators.
Yeah.
Oh, Danny has the tiny Terminators. So I got all my stuff worked up. The demons are all red at this point. All of my guys are at least 3 colors plus.
Wow.
So I'm making headway on the entire army, the 2,000 points, because I really wanted to play it. I was looking forward to playing this last weekend originally at MJ's, but I was unable to. So I painted up some stuff, and I dug out all my Iron Hands that I wanted to, and I threw some custodes together with Iron Hands just to have a good time for the Iron Man tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran 3 Repulsor Executioners, a Master of the Forge, 3 Whirlwinds, a Captain in Gravis, and a Lieutenant, and then Alaris Terminator Captain with 3 jet bikes and 3 Custode Foot Troops and a patrol. I didn't want to try to bring some sort of super OP army. I just kind of wanted to bring a little bit and have fun and not have to think about it. But as it turns out, when you stop thinking about Iron Hands and solely think about how to play Chaos, Space Marines, and Demons and Khorne, you forget important rules. So I went into my first game against Wallace O'Donnell, who is a fantastic Demons player, first off.
Newest member of FS Pro, the #1 team in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
He brought himself, I think he's actually top-ranked Demons right now.
He is.
Right? Yeah. He's the top-ranked Demons player in the ITC, which hopefully has gone on hold. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with that, but, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not going to stay, but well, he has it.
Sorry.
Right. He's
Keep telling your story.
So he brought, Kargath, the Forge World Greater Demon of Nurgle.
Skibiathrax.
Skibiathrax.
The bloated, who's actually now half the size of a regular.
Yeah, he's tiny.
Yeah.
He's a little guy,
little chap.
but bigger somehow.
He is disgusting.
He's pretty gross, yeah.
He's all right.
And I forgot
Spot the better player.
I forgot an important rule. Repulsor grab tanks have a -2 to charge, which means that his first turn charge would not have succeeded. And then the game would have ended up going to me because he would have just had his dude sitting there out in the open in front of everybody else getting shot up by, executioners. I ended up losing the game. I had a good time. It was fun. I got to play around with custodes, charging stuff with the jet bikes, and just murderizing demons and shrikes and all sorts of fun stuff. He brought 340 points of summoning, which is just really good. His list is very solid, and the way he played it was very good, so my hat's off to him.
Nice.
I went into the next game against a gentleman running just Chaos Knights. which unfortunately is a bad matchup for him. And I ended up beating him. It wasn't a game that I really, we both had a good time playing, but he failed a 5-inch charge with with a Knight Rampager.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That cost it was a coin flip. Him failing that charge cost him the game. Him making that charge wins him the game.
Dang.
So,
but make charges, I guess.
Yeah. Don't fail that 5-inch charge. Pro tip.
He had no CP to re-roll. He was out. I was just like, oh, dude, I can't give it to you. There's no way. You just failed it when he's getting +2 from Slanish, he's getting -2 for the grab plates, and he rolls a 3. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, that's harsh.
So
C'est la vie.
So I ended up beating him, and then I withdrew from the event because I was an old guy and I'm tired. Somebody made me get up at like the butt crack of dawn to start playing 40K games.
Which, by the way, went over super popular, and I think locally
the
tournaments are going to switch to an earlier start now.
I think in general we're going to try that for a bit.
Please. That's the one thing I really like about tournaments out at MJ's in the Valley as opposed to Tier 1 is the start time.
But ironically, the end time is the same with driving.
It's less, actually.
That's true.
I haven't gone to a tournament at MJ's where I wasn't home before I would have been home from Tier 1.
That's because you dropped out round 2.
I always drop out round 2.
It's got you there, Dave. You can't even argue with that. That's just factual. You just dropped a fucking eagle bomb on your ass. Suck on that, terrorists. Yeah. This is the most patriotic episode of Mob Rules we've ever done.
What is happening?
I don't know. I found an eagle sound effect and I put it on my board.
I know. You're just hitting it though. I was like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. But other than that, I've just been working on trying to get some stuff painted and stay on top of that so that I'm ready and getting the guys based so that when the quarantine is over and we can do our narrative again, I will whip the ever-loving crap out of John's army.
That's fair.
With Danny's help because John betrayed us.
That's fair, but you did betray Danny.
And I didn't betray Danny in any way, shape, or form.
Definitely didn't leave him alone on a spaceship to die.
I don't remember
Son of a bitch.
I mean, I thought the other thing worked so he could get off. I didn't know that he didn't get off the
You asked a question literally halfway through. It was hey, if I take this, will Danny be stuck? And John goes, yes, absolutely. And you go, badass.
I don't know. It's not like there's video footage to prove that that's not true.
There is. It's just not very good video footage, and it's currently sitting as a Patreon exclusive of you think you guys suffered by giving us $1. Look at this video.
You have to watch it. This is your punishment.
I think not very good video is our tagline, to be honest.
Yeah, Mob Rules, 40K.
Mob Rules, not very good video. With your host, Lav the Eagle.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I gotta make a whole just Danny Spike out of that now.
I love it.
Danny's wife would like you to make a Danny Spike out of it too.
But yeah, I also
it's the only spike she's getting.
Tell me about your unusual method, Dave, for checking that a model's paint job is complete. Like, if I wanted to make sure the face on a model was completely painted, would I just kind of rotate it in my hand to look at it, or would it just fucking yeet it to the ground and make it explode?
That was a completely different model that I yeeted to the ground.
Oh, really? I thought it was the same one. So I have this image of you just breaking the model to shit. And
I thought it was you rub your fingernail across its face really hard to make sure the paint is on there well.
Oh, yeah.
Dave, let me check your model.
With my belt sander.
So I'm using resin disc spoilers from Forge World for most of my stuff because they've got the right kind of arms to go with the awesome chain axes that I had Scott Rogers print for me, and they look great. I was drilling a barrel on one of my lieutenants. I'm sorry, my aspiring champion, exalted champions. Exalted?
Yeah, I'm sure that's a thing.
Yeah. Aspiring exalted. Aspiring overlords.
Aspiring exalted champion. He's a junior executive in the World Eaters Legion.
Tell me.
He's an EVP of Chaos. I don't know. He gives rerolls in combat. Fuck you.
Yeah. No, so I was drilling the barrel, and The gun arm snapped off, and when it snapped off, I tried to grab it, which caused me to like throw the model into the air. And I was like, it should be fine. I was wrong. When it landed, it just died. It like the other arm broke off at a different spot.
And the best part about all this is that we got a video of this happening. So go and check out our YouTube page for Dave bloopers.
It's using the same sound effects as Dave Games.
Oh yeah. I don't have that queued because I still have my Danny Sting queued up, which is on like a new board.
So that's good, But that's what I've been up to, trying to get through the hobby backlog.
Nice.
Well, I have assembled at least and undercoated my stuff. So for my narrative challenge, I had 2 troop choices. So I obviously have a max unit of zombie boys, poxwalkers, and then a max unit of plague marines, which apparently is 20.
Yep.
So you
can have a lot of them.
So I can have a lot of them. So I have those assembled and base coated. Threw a couple of flails in there. Flew a couple of blight launchers in there.
Nice.
Really pushing this reason we play matched play narrative competition together. So those guys are all assembled and ready to go. I just need to finish purpling them up. All my plagues, my poxwalkers are done.
Nice.
So I really just need to do the plague marines, which I need to purple those guys up. I played a game of Titanicus, Adeptus Titanicus, a couple of learning games with one of our buddies, Josh. It's amazing, and I instantly went out and bought an entire 3,000 point army worth of knights because those tiny guys, just great fun the whole time. So I'm excited to pull those guys out more. I have another game this week sometime.
I'm so jealous, by the way.
Oh, dude, and they're so great. So there was that, and then I played in the GT that I also organized. A little bit of nepotism going on there. I managed all 5 rounds because it wouldn't be a real good showing for me to organize it. Then peace out after round 1, no matter how tired or sleepy I was. But yeah, first round I played Eric, who's a local Eldar player. Super good player. I played him, I think, 3 or 4 times now. I've lost to him once, but even then, that was by a point. He struggled. I think just in this game, turn 2 for me was just so good. So very, very unbelievably good. Madeira Deos couldn't miss, couldn't fail but to wound. Nice. Everything was doing max damage. He was failing literally all of his saves.
Man.
Turn 2, I got every single unit in combat.
Interviewed Eric.
Yeah, so turn 2, my Warp Talons got in combat. So then my Chaos Lords got in combat. So then it's the reason I run this list, kind of game is what happened there. And then after that happened, and I'd taken out the majority of his army, apart from maybe a unit of Dark Reapers and a couple of Grav Tanks. He was totally in his own head at that point. He could have pulled it back and kind of got more points, and even I think in a couple of points won. But because that turn 2 was just so demoralizing. I think it was it's done. It's done. It is what it is. And I'm like, well, no, it's not really. But yeah, it was in his head here. So I ended up winning that game, 34-19.
Oh wow, that's a lot of points.
Yeah. That was a lot of points. And then round 2, that got
you
me
fool.
That got me to
foolish fool
play against Greg, who ran almost the exact same Eldar list.
Yeah, their lists are very similar.
So I was like, okay, I felt pretty good about it. But the difference being, Greg was a lot more aggressive with his Dark Reapers. Also, I went second this game. The theme of this tournament is if I go first, I won. But if I went second, I did not. So I was a lot more. He was a lot more aggressive with his Dark Reapers. He has some Dire Avengers as well, and them hitting on 5s for Overwatch is just huge. And a lot of the buffs that they get from the custom craft world that he runs them as just had them as really good. Also, Greg's just a super good player, and although he's new with the list, he did a really good job with them. So I ended up losing that one 34-17. Next round, I played Taylor, fellow teammate Taylor, with his weird soup list of Custodes and Guard.
Yep.
And then I made a couple of misplays, but kind of talking about it afterwards. After round 1, there wasn't really much I could do to win. He has a couple of really neat gimmicks that really hard counter my stuff. The ability he has to drop kind of all of his Custodes within heroic intervention distance of my stuff is really good, or even just within easy charge distance. and then using the tank aces to kind of just fade and fire his tanks every turn.
Right.
So like he was keeping his main gun hidden, and his big squad of Bulgren as well are super nasty.
Yep, they are. And
I made the mistake of going to take those guys out first when I should have maybe just kind of gone the other side of the table and kind of worked my way the other way. But even then, I maximized my secondaries, which I feel pretty good about doing there. I ended up losing that one 26-14. So although it was like a 14 point, it wasn't a super high scoring game. So I felt good about that.
Cool.
Round 4. I ended up playing Jared and his Ultramarines. He had kind of a couple month old medalist of like 3 repulsors, about 13 aggressors. He had Marnus Calgar, a lieutenant, kind of a couple other things in there. But there's one thing.
Thunderfire cannon and 3 squads of suppressors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Because I think you played him too, right?
Yeah, I played him first round.
Yeah. So something that I found out, though, is that Daredale Dreadnoughts love aggressors. Like, they would reach out and hug them very easily. And then again, I think it's something where Jared kind of got in his head a little bit as well, as I was just removing like unit after unit off the table because of these Daradeos, either from the butcher cannons on them or from the Havoc launchers not needing line of sight. Mm-hmm. So it really let me target down some stuff super easy. But it was still a tough game. I ended up winning that one 21-19. To go 2-2 so far.
That's close.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was super close. And like I said, Jared did real good. It was just kind of like the last couple of turns I pulled away when like there was nothing left on the table.
Yeah.
Some clutch stuff I did was kind of being able to lock up his Thunderfire cannon in combat. So I consolidated into the Thunderfire cannon.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, cool, yeah, go ahead and punch me, but I don't want you to fire next turn. And that's kind of my thing. So I was able to negate the Thunderfire cannon really quickly, which with my list where I'm trying to be super mobile, I need that thing gone. Last round I played Zach. Zach was running a Chaos list. He had some Obliterators. He had like 2 units of 3 Obliterators, a little Possess Bomb, and then a couple other things. It was a really tough match, but the Obliterators could not stand in the face of Mutilators. And the Mutilators just kind of wiped through the Obliterators. I ended up winning that game 31-26.
Nice job, man.
It was a super close game.
Well done.
Yeah. What really won it for me was there was a turn where he failed a couple prayers onto the Possess Bomb. And as soon as that happens, we're talking after the game, and like Zach was saying, it was like when the Possess Bomb works, it's impossible to get rid of.
Right.
When you fail 1 or 2 of these key powers, and I can turn my Daradeos who are hitting on 2s, or like, sure, -2, sure, I'm hitting on 4s. Who the fuck cares? I can really work through that unit pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then either force him to burn through CP auto-passing morale, or just take that unit out. Something he did, though, is he moved the Possess Bomb away from my Daradeos and towards kind of cultists and objectives, whereas if it was me, I would kind of just try to take out the Daradeos, or at least lock them up so they can't shoot.
Sure.
But it was a super close game. Really good time. I don't think I played Zach before, so that was super nice.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
I ended the day 3-2 overall.
That's pretty good, man.
For my GT. Yeah, I'm into the positive win. I'm usually that 1 and 2 guy, and now I'm a 3 and 2.
I know, that's awesome, man.
So yeah, it was a super good day, and I think what it goes to show is just not jumping around as much, just kind of playing things I like, and not really chasing the meta, and just being like I was like, hey, I want to run through Daradeos. That sounds like fun, and it was.
They're pretty good. Did you like them?
I did. I really liked the way they played. I really enjoyed the way I was able to move with them, what I was able to do with them. Those butcher cannons are just amazing.
They do a lot of work.
They do a lot of work. And when I can stack things, so what I like about them the most is like when I combine them with Night Lords.
Yeah.
So like I shoot a unit, they're now -2 to their leadership. I can then charge them into combat. I can get +1 to hit now because if I use the stratagem, because I have a higher leadership than the unit I'm attacking.
Yep.
Especially against things like Imperium units, where I can now proc Death of the False Emperor on like 5s or 4s.
Sure.
It's super great. So I'm really liking kind of the synergy there. And generally most of my lists nowadays are very synergistic in what they do, which either means I get some great games like this happens where I'm like getting like Death of the False Emperors and 4s or 5s against Jared. And then I just have games where I'm just like, wow, like 3 things died, so everything fucking fell apart. So
yeah, that's too bad when that happens.
It is what it is, but it was a lot of fun. It was a long day. It was quite draining, but I'm
it was, yeah.
super glad we did it. Can't wait to do one in a year to a year and a half from now when I'm fully recovered from it.
I'm looking forward to it next time around.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. So, Danny, you also did stuff.
I did. Thank you. Thank you for that introduction.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so not only am I the sexiest man in 40K, but apparently I'm also the Eagle. I like this moniker.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to take this with me.
We're really pushing that now. We're branding you.
I'm going to rename myself on that VIP chat.
Yeah, America's podcast.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Let's see. As far as hobby stuff goes, I primed my Terminators, but I didn't get any further than that on them. I also built and primed a bunch of Titanicus stuff because I've also been playing that.
So good.
It's really fun.
So good.
I've been running a lot of Warhounds, and that's a really good time.
You guys are making me want to buy a Titan really badly.
Yeah, well, then buy a fucking Titan,
Do
Dave.
it, yeah.
Dude, the problem is that as soon as I do, Josh will start playing 40K again, and you guys will be like, yeah, we're done with Titanicus. That's
So,
what happened
I mean-
with Heresy. That's how I have 3 Heresy armies. I came in right at the tail end. It was awesome.
I mean, honestly, I feel even if like one of the players stopped playing, I would still play Titanicus.
Hell yeah.
That's how much fun
I
it is.
really like this game, Dave.
It's super narrative. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. Like, so my game against Josh ended in a draw because his Titan overloaded its plasma core when it strained itself by trying to go backwards and turn. And so it blew up, but while it blew up, it fell on my Titan, which blew it up.
Awesome.
That's how the game ended.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I did that. I've also been slowly building some more Sisters of Battle models. Like I've been taking them to work with me and kind of building like 3 or 4 every lunch period that I have. So that's been cool.
And you have several.
Yeah. Several lunches?
Yeah, several lunch periods.
Right. And then let's see here. So I played in this GT, which was a super good time.
It was.
I brought Tyranids because I had a list challenge with one of our teammates, Eric Rickards.
Yep.
Where we both brought exactly the same list, and then whoever did the best with it won the bet. Clearly, I won the bet. I mean,
Clearly, yeah.
I mean, this is the only event we played. We both actually played this list at. So
I haven't seen Eric on his podcast talking about how he did.
I'm gonna set the narrative here in the tone.
Okay.
And make sure.
That's only because this is his podcast.
That's fair. That's fair.
Fuck
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so round 1, I played Jared Long.
Yep.
So this game was pretty entertaining. Like he came in hot because I gave him first turn.
Yep.
In fact, every single time I played this tournament, I went second, and usually because I chose to go second.
Right.
So, which was awesome. I love playing that way. It made setting up really easy and really fun. I'm really glad that I got to do that. So again, yeah, Jared has 11 aggressors. He has 2 repulsor executioners, 1 normal repulsor, and the normal repulsor is all DACA. And so my list has 120 Termagants, 3 Tervagons, 2 Exocrines, a Maliceptor, a unit of 6 Hive Guard, 2 units of 3 Ripper Swarms, and a Malanthrope. And 2 Biovores. And so my army is really hoardy, but it does have some big stuff, which is basically perfect for the repulsor executioners to deal with stuff, and then also for his aggressors to pick up everything else. So he goes first. He is really bold with his aggressors and like moves up mid-table really fast and like just starts shooting me. And he's shooting a lot of shots. Now, Jared always likes to play with the clock, which I really respect. Especially since like I have an army that has a lot of models. I understand like somebody wanting to put me on a clock to make sure that I play fast enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I and like, yeah, that's totally fair. But the amount of dice that he was rolling and re-rolling, I think kind of bit him in the butt a little bit at the end so he was winning this game handily. So first turn he goes up, aggressors come up, they wipe out a whole unit of Gaunts, just dead. Mm-hmm. All the aggressors together. And then
Would you go so far as to say those Gaunts were ghosts?
No, I would not.
I'll see myself out.
Thank you. I think he also killed like an Exocrine and maybe the Maliceptor. I don't know. The Maliceptor was alive for one more turn. Anyway, and then on my return volley, I managed to kill all of the aggressors back, which was a really good turn for me. Like,
yeah.
That needed to happen 100%. And that basically kept me in the game from him just tabling me totally. So it was kind of like a good back and forth between us, killing units, removing stuff, staying in the center of the board. He made a couple of pretty smart plays. I was able to bring back a lot of Gaunts, though, as the game progressed, and I was losing Tervagants and things. Eventually, though, he ran out of time. He clocked out. And because of the amount of dice he's rolling, it's definitely not the models. He clocked out, I think, on turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was scoring hold points every turn because I couldn't get to the back of the board. I didn't have anything that was quite fast enough. And so I managed to get like unmitigated board control access where I was killing stuff and I was moving on to objectives and getting bonus points. So had he not clocked out, he definitely would have won this game. Mm-hmm. I would have lost. So the end score of this game was 30-25. So I kind of got a gift there in that game. Because that army matches up real well against mine. Round 2, I played against Jonathan's round 3 opponent.
You just called
Taylor.
Yeah.
So, well, he's playing you because he
played me. Spoilers.
So Taylor played probably one of the worst games of his life this game, I think. Like, Taylor's a really good player. He's one of our teammates, but he forgot a ton of stuff during this game. Like, he kept forgetting to do stuff. He made some bad plays and like it just kept compounding and I could tell he was getting really tilted and frustrated, which is totally understandable. I would too. He forgot to bring on turn 3 his tank commander, 2 units of scions, and a scion commander.
Oof.
Oh, and an infantry squad. So I got 5 kills that turn for doing nothing.
Yeah. My game against Taylor, I forgot to bring on my mutilators.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, he has a big unit of Alaris Custodians and then a big unit of Bulgrin, and he skipped his psychic phase in the first turn, so he didn't put any of the psychic buffs on the Bulgrin, which allowed me to basically clean up the Bulgrin almost entirely on my turn.
Right.
Damn.
Which sucks. Like, and like I offered to him, like, hey man, if you want to go back and do that, that's fine. And he's like, no, I want to play by the rules and I want to make sure I'm doing this right. And I said, okay. Yeah, so this game was kind of a blowout. He got a bunch of points though. He maxed out all the secondaries, which was good. So I won this game 34-21. And then I played Greg Howard.
My round 2 opponent.
Yep. So first 3 opponents for John and I are all the same people, I think.
Yeah. No. Well, so.
Oh no, you had Jared on round 4.
I had Jared round 4. Okay. I had Greg round 2, and
I didn't end up playing Eric. So yeah. So I played Greg.
There was only 28 people, so it's not like you couldn't double up at all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just think it's super weird that we're doubling up on all of our opponents.
Yeah.
So I played Greg. Oh, I'm good, thank you. Makes for great radio as I refuse a drink.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I want a drink, John. Can you bring me one?
I mean, it's going to be a bit, but sure.
Yeah. It's going to be frozen. I'm going to kick it down the street too.
Lay it over to me and call it a day.
Lay it over. You mean should I head it to you? Because that seems like it'll be dangerous.
No, the bicycle kick.
Oh, I see. Okay, I can do that. Yeah. So I played Greg. Greg has mechanized.
I am going to
Eldar.
choose to not believe that whatsoever.
All right, I'll demonstrate it after the show. You can get a video of it.
Yeah.
All right. So I played Greg. He had mechanized Eldar. My list is really hoardy, and he couldn't really remove Gaunts fast enough. And he made a couple of bad plays first turn, and I was able to capitalize on those. He moved some Dire Avengers in the middle of the board.
Oh.
And so I was able to move assault and wrap them with 2 squads of 30 Termagants. And so he didn't really have a ton to shoot at, and I basically killed a tank every single turn. So I that was really good for me. That definitely worked out in my favor. So I won that one 32-21. And then I played what I thought was probably going to be the worst match, which was Grey Knights. So I played our other teammate, Joe, and he had Grey Knights. Joe
really
was the points leader at this point
in
time, so I was definitely in second place. So he had pretty typical, well, not typical, but it was Lawrence Baker. It was basically Lawrence Baker's Grey Knight list that did pretty well recently with 2 units of 10 paladins. So I'm like, crap, how do I kill 20 paladins. It turns out I can definitely kill 20 paladins.
Just shoot them.
Yeah,
it turns out it's really good.
Yeah, I can shoot them with exocrines, and they do really good damage against Terminators.
Yeah.
Especially when you boost them up to damage 3. And I was able to turn off the important psychic powers with the Chronos stratagem, which was really, really good. Yep. So he just couldn't kill enough models. In fact, he just stopped shooting at Termagants.
Yeah.
Because he's like, what's the point? Like, you're just going to bring them back. It's not going to hurt you at all. Like,
well, I think when we played, I had like the same realization, like turn 3 or 4. It's like, wow, Jesus, what's even the point in targeting these guys? Because you're going to just keep on bringing them back.
Yep.
And keep on moving forward.
So, Joe managed to establish central board control pretty early, so I was having a hard time taking that away from him. But eventually I did. So that worked in my favor. So I won that game 31-21. Man, that's weird. Hold on. Man, like the last 3 opponents were all scored 21 points. That's kind of impressive. All right, and then last round. So I'm 4-0 at this point in time. I'm playing a top table, and I draw Rob Porter. Now Rob has beaten Eric, like maybe 2 rounds ago, and so like he knows he's played against exactly my same list already, and I haven't played against I haven't played against the Raven Guard Marines. Rob had a Raven Guard Marine list. Basically, I couldn't deal with the Grav Centurions at all. I did my best, but like the things that I kept trying to do just weren't working for me, and I needed to get a lucky break. Just because he had me on the back foot like pretty quickly.
Right.
Like I poorly positioned my Hive Guard, and that was my fault. So he was able to Thunderfire Cannon kill a lot of them before I was able to do anything about it. Like, if I really, like, I should have realized that unit was the key to my entire winning strategy. And so, like, I should have defended them better and done a better job of keeping them in cover, also making them -1 to hit, and also making them -1 strength value to things shooting at them. And I didn't do that. So I lost most of them. I had like 2 left on turn 1 that I got to use, and then they died in the next turn. Well, that is what it is, right? But I couldn't deal with 60 bolter shots plus the grav cannon shots against my gaunts. Like, they were just cleaning that squads up left and like every time the Centurion shot, it almost killed an entire unit of gaunts.
Right.
Which his Centurions always are brutal to me, so. And it's like, not surprising.
Well, so I've been playing Iron Hands, right? And like, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just shoot him and he'll die or whatever. And like, all my good threats were gone by the time they came in. Mm-hmm. And I
it's almost like he planned it or something.
No, he did, and he did really good by like putting them in like terrain so that I couldn't see them ever. Mm-hmm. Like I never got a chance to shoot at them, not even once, with anything important. So yeah, no, he did great. Like, no question there. I wish that I would have made a couple more saves, but that's okay. Like, that's the way it goes. Right? Yeah. And so if I would have played the Hive Guard better, I think I would have won that game. So I lose this game 33-22. So I still got a respectable amount of points. And because I've gotten so many points over the course of the tournament, actually Rob only has 2 more points than me overall. So that means that I still take second place, which is pretty cool. Hell yeah.
Soar high, but not too high.
Just like an eagle.
Now, to clarify though, you and Eric,
second best.
Your wager, if you will, which was a gentleman's wager.
The
was
Falcon
nothing.
position.
Of course.
And, right. It was just win-loss, wasn't it? Not points total in the actual discussion?
Well, no, wait a minute. No, it definitely wasn't win-loss. It was tournament placing, of course.
Was it? Okay. Because I thought it was just whoever could get more wins was the original bet, because you both kind of thought that this was not going to happen.
Well, I mean,
you both went 4-1.
Yeah, if you want to look at strength of schedule, though, I think that you'll find that I had the much harder road than he did.
Did you? Because you played the same people John did.
I played good people.
Yeah, John played them after Greg got a win off of you, though.
Yeah, Greg got a win, but I beat the other 2.
Yeah, but those people were all good people.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great people. We're not talking about their moral character, just their placing.
I am.
I'm surprisingly okay with chaos. I'll have you know.
No, you should be. And that's not a dig.
You should be, because you've been playing them for a year now.
Yeah, you've been practicing with them. You should be good with them at this point. if you weren't good with them, I'd be like, dude, maybe it's time to hang up Chaos.
Just time to please play Titanicus.
Yeah. Have you given any thought to playing Tyranids? Apparently, they're really strong after PA.
No, it's not PA. It's the new ITC missions that made them really good. Well, it helped board control armies in general, like make them a lot better. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll bust out the orcs. Like, I've been kind of thinking about it, and like,
I like that you said maybe. There's no you. Of course, you're busting out the orcs.
I'm going to use my second edition Gazgul model.
No, you're not.
It's ITC legal.
I will straight up fucking spike that right in the garbage if you bring that to a tournament. I promise you.
He's fucking lead. He'll survive it.
I was going to say, first you're going to get lead poisoning when you do it, though.
Because it's going to cut me. Yeah.
He's the same gas flavor, 1/3 the size.
So what is the power sword represented on the old Gazgo model? Is that his claw?
Yeah, that's his claw.
And the normal bolter that he has in his hand, is that your 12-shot big shooter?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. The size is why he gets the extra
it's
-1.
Faith, baby. That's how everything works.
Yeah,
Come on.
I believe it's gas, so it fucking is. I'm thematic.
There it is.
Get out of here.
Nope.
You're fired. I'm bringing on Eric. Hold on. I'm calling him right now.
Oh, my God. Don't call Eric. Oh, man. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, Danny has some questions from people.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a single wound? A standard bolt gun? Having trouble maintaining an acceptable Xenos kill count? Only barely over 2 meters tall? Maybe it's time to ask your lieutenant if the Rubicon Primaris is right for you. The Rubicon Primaris is a prescription process that helps you to update that tired look. You may notice an increase in your purging abilities within 2 to 4 hours. You may experience loss of life, additional organs, and a points increase. Do not take the Rubicon if you plan on fitting into rhinos, drop pods, or other traditional vehicles. The Rubicon Primaris is not intended for second founding chapters. The Rubicon Primaris is for use on genetically enhanced super soldiers over the age of 800 only. You are encouraged to report negative side effects to your company's apothecary. The Rubicon Primaris. Because sometimes plot armor is just not enough.
And we're back, but I'm gonna take a back seat for this one here, Dave, because it's not always about me, as you so often tell me.
As we keep trying to tell you all the time.
I refuse.
I don't think I actually have said it's not all about you.
Not to my face. Sorry,
There
I'm
it is.
protecting myself.
Can that be my bump? That just be both of our bumps.
I think so.
Danny can have the eagle explosions.
I was-
like, wow.
I was talking to Danny where I'm going to be making a little 20-second bump for us to put before we talk about tournament stuff, and it'll be a crap center one. It's time to enter the crap center.
So if I'm the eagle, are you guys going to pick stupid American Gladiator nicknames too? One of you could be
Just
Laser
things-
Burn
I
or
was like, I'm taking laser for sure. I mean,
Dangerous
that was
Dave Ian and Jovial John.
so
gonna,
that
your
so
nickname was going to be laser.
Laser Blazer.
Dave's nickname comes from a botched LASIK operation
Oh,
that left half of his face paralyzed and unable to grow hair.
Dave LASIK.
sick.
Dave LASIK.
Dave's sick.
Dave sick.
Don't get your LASIK in a toxic waste dump. That's all I'm saying.
Go Dave sick.
Fuck you. Don't tell me how to save money.
Don't get LASIK.
I
Get
gotta
Dave
buy.
sick.
I gotta
Got
buy
really bad
Titanicus
insurance. It was
models.
the only thing I can afford.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, yeah. Well, the only shirts you have are the Mob Rules ones that we
Fair.
give you.
I appreciate that.
Yep. So, Patreons, thanks for clothing Dave. Otherwise, you would just wear rags.
No food, no eat, only wear.
Only wear. We have to tell him that's a disclaimer we have him sign. Oh, okay. So, we got some awesome listener questions this week.
This week, yeah, Danny,
have
you had the great
listeners?
idea. Yeah, you had the great idea of asking our listeners to ask us questions. I would assume they're all, please stop.
Oh.
And then I'll be like, that's not a question.
Don't worry, I'll read them anyway. All right, guys. So, first question comes from Seth the Mad Dog. Seth asks,
I know that guy.
Mortarion, Magnus, Gulliman, fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, shit, that is a good one.
Oh, man. John, you want to take this one first?
Yeah, so I would say I would fuck Magnus because he could do weird psychic shit to my dick.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to be inside of him.
Yeah, or he could like make himself appear to not be a 20-foot tall demon to me. So that would be helpful. I would kill Mortarion before he killed me because I couldn't be close to him, which I think, thing. And then I would marry Gulliman because then he would take care of the finances. He would balance the checkbook.
He would clean the house.
He would clean the house and stuff like that. He just keep me a made man.
You wouldn't have to lift a finger. I don't
No,
think.
no,
that's smart. I like that.
Yeah, that would be my 3 there.
All right, Dave.
All right. Well, I'm going to. Oh God, I'm gonna kill Magnus because
he did nothing wrong though.
He did tons of stuff wrong, and I gotta kill him.
You can't marry someone who makes that many mistakes.
It's not gonna work. I'm gonna fuck Gulliman, I think, because he's what's wrong with the Imperium right now.
Also, your little Ultramarine boner.
And why I'm turning
Ultra
to chaos. And I guess I'll marry Mortarion because that's my only choice left. Can I have 2?
That's how you get
kills?
A's, Dave.
That's how you get.
Can I have fuck kill kill? Is that
Fuck kill kill. The Imperium's game.
No. You've been looking at World Eater stuff too much, Dave.
Fuck for the fuck throne.
I can't marry. It's fuck kill kill. So I kill them. I kill them both.
Dang,
cool. All right,
way to dodge. All right, good dodge, Dave. I like it.
His answer is just not answering the question.
All right.
What's
next one.
Dave, you're going first on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nathan asks, state of the game. Games Workshop making more badass characters. Seems like all the Psychic Awakening supplements have focused on characters rather than units. Is Hero Hammer coming?
I don't think so. I really don't. I feel like these characters are good and they add a lot of fluff and they're really great if you're playing narrative Garage Hammer games, so you can really flesh out stuff and play to your heart's content however you want. But I don't think Hero Hammer is coming. Not in the truest sense, at least.
Okay, fair enough. John?
So sort of yes, sort of no. I say there was a really great interview up on Goonhammer today. I'm dating ourselves, talking to a former games designer for GW who helped kind of bring in Age of Sigmar and helped kill the old world and kind of.
Man, I'm not reading that. I'm just going to get mad.
It was fantastic. He said the design process.
How is Matt Ward doing?
He said the design process at GW is first model, then story, then rules.
Okay.
So I think what's happening is it's a combination of really cool individual models being made, fantastic stories being written, because the Psychic Awakening stuff coming up is just a fantastic narrative. And these great narratives are not driven by squads of people, Gaunt's Ghost style, right? These narratives are being driven by characters and generals.
Sure.
And that releases to rules and special characters. I think the other thing that's driving this kind of wave of special characters, because I will agree we're getting like a ton of them now, but the other thing that's driving it is the monopose nature of the kits.
Sure.
There's a push away from kit bashing and from kind of customizing your own characters. So while there's rules for it, and you can make your own chapter master, and you can certainly still get I think Dave's Chaos Marines, my Chaos Marines, we have some like Loyalist Marine stuff in there because it all fits together.
Sure.
Right.
But the drive right now is to, hey, look at this great looking character you can have in your army. This monopose guys. And if you look at all of the characters that came out recently, they're just monopose special characters.
Sure.
So I think that's where it's kind of coming from, is it's not necessarily an intentional move back to Hero Hammer. I think it's like a combination of these different things that are coming together to present that. So we're kind of coming towards like 8th and 9th edition, where it's like almost like Warm Horde style, where you have like your Warcaster special character in the center and then the force you build around him.
Sure.
And I said that's kind of where I see it going there.
So, and to kind of tack onto that.
Hey, yeah, Danny, and how would you answer that, Danny?
So I feel like this is the fastest way to get an army a new model.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the way I see it. Like, you don't have to like design and build like a big sprue for a bunch of things. Like, you can just make a character model and then be like, hey, cool, look at this new character that we made. Like, this is the new unit that you get for your army, which is cool and fine. Like, that's totally cool. And that's a good way to do it without having to like, create a little bunch of bloat for your existing range, which is already hard for store owners to carry and stuff like that. And plus there's like these models are all centerpiece models, right? Like they're all designed to look awesome on the table. And the best way to make a centerpiece model is to make him like a character or your general.
Also have him daintily standing on rubble,
of course,
which is the recent cool thing.
Or jumping off of rubble,
or they're not daintily
somehow
standing except for Shrike.
interacting with rubble.
As long as they're interacting with rubble, that's
the key.
That is
That's
the key to get the special character keyword.
Somebody loves the Flintstones too much.
You're not standing on Barney rubble.
We gotta get rubble on each one of these.
All right.
All right. Next question.
This is me answering first out of fairness.
All right. So this is a 2-part question. But I'll ask the first part and then we'll switch and I'll ask the next part.
Cool.
So first question, what's your favorite change to an army and why?
My favorite change to an army, I believe, I mean, there's so many over like 20 years. I think the most recent one I can think of is the...
And these are, keep in mind, this is in the lens of Psychic Awakening.
Oh, in the lens of Psychic Awakening.
Yeah, sorry. All of these are framed about Psychic Awakening.
Okay, so framed about Psychic Awakening, I think my favorite change to an army would be... Honestly, I mean, I know it's just because it's the stuff I play, but the Chaos rules.
Man, they're really good.
And the Legion rules and the Legion traits. And really, and it's like similar in a short way to what they did with the Marine supplements, where with the Marine supplements when they came out, you had now 5 or 6 different Marine armies that played in 5 or 6 different ways. Yep. It's the same thing with the Legion traits and the Legion rules that came from Psychic Awakening, where you have 4 or 5 different Legions in there. And they each play a distinctive way, and they each want you to take a different composition to maximize it. And I love that there. And I think it's because I'm going through the Night Lords omnibus at the same time as I'm playing Night Lords and seeing these rules. But they are so flavorful and
they really are
so good and so representative. And they don't reinvent what a Chaos Space Marine army is. It just rewards you for certain compositions, and that to me is like my biggest takeaway from Psychic Awakening across all the books, right? It's not kind of fundamentally changing how stuff is played. It's not punishing you for taking certain things and encouraging you to build in certain ways. I'm done, Dave.
Yeah, nice. Good answer.
I don't think you left anything for me to answer.
Yes.
So,
do you feel the same way, or do you feel about the Chaos Army? That's your favorite one?
No, not in the slightest.
So then the question, I guess, was what army for Psychic, like what is the change of Psychic Awakening is your favorite, right? I forget the exact wording.
No, that's exactly right. What's your favorite change to an army and why?
During the scope of Psychic Awakening.
Yes.
Within the scope of,
Okay. My favorite change to an army is actually the Codex Space Marines, and it's the latest nerf that makes doctrines have to rotate continuously. You can't stay in one
How is that
doctrine.
a Psychic Awakening, Dave?
You said it's during the scope of Psychic Awakening.
Okay, so
Psychic Awakening
within
still
that
happening,
time frame.
Yes,
sure.
It's
Okay.
within the time frame.
Okay.
And the reason for that is now I can officially, if I really wanted to, go back to playing Iron Hands without having people tell me how super OP I am on a regular basis.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
I wouldn't say super OP. It's like OP.
Man, like nobody bitched at me the entire time I played that almost.
Played Iron Hands?
Yeah, nobody like maybe like when they first came out and the rules were really bad, but I don't think anybody else really
you
complained
played them
about it.
when they were in their top form against like
Top players
50
also
players.
playing them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, I play against mediocre players
You
who
go
just
on-
complain.
going 40K crap center and says it's all Dave's
Yeah.
fault.
Okay. All right. So the follow-up question
I'm
is
switching to Sisters of Silence.
It's fair.
Oh yeah, good. Well, no, that's Maeve Meaton.
Made me in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely
Well, I'm
different
trying to
person.
I'm actually taking his coaching service.
I see.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. It's $5 a month. I'm the only Patreon.
And so without wish listing too much, what would you be the most excited for in an upcoming rules and upcoming lore?
All right. So this one's me.
Yep, you go first.
Oh man, upcoming. I'm torn. I'm really torn because I really want to see some really, really good stuff come out for Custodes. Something similar to Tactical Doctrine or to Doctrines. But at the same time, I'm starting to play with demons, and I would love to see some awesome new special demon abilities.
I'm pretty sure you will.
Just Ooh.
Custom gods. I'm kidding. That's
Custom gods.
I don't know.
I'll take the god of Aldi's. It's every demon's a knockoff. These are mud bledders.
All these nuts.
All these nuts.
All right. So John,
So I have two things to
Okay.
cheat because they've cheated. They're both going to come from the same book because the War of the Spider book is the one I am most excited for at this point. What I want from that book, I want the Silent King to return and the Necrons to completely and fundamentally change as a faction,
man, that'd be cool.
which I hope is going to happen based on him coming back and some of the story ideas where Necrons or Silent King made Tyranids and send them off and kind of like some of the stuff they're hinting at there.
Yeah.
That would be great. The other thing I really want to see, and this is more far off and I don't think will happen, is a reunification of the Emperor's children.
That'd be cool.
With Fabius Bile, Clone Fulgrim coming together and just kind of running the Legion as a Legion, sort of similar to the way Death Guard does it, right? Or Night Lords, where they're not necessarily like little warp, but like kind of coming back full force as kind of a force
Fulgrim
to
is
regulate.
dead, right?
No.
Okay, so rather than clone Fulgrim,
But here's it. So there is a Clone Fulgrim. I believe he's in the Black Library just now. Or the Harlequins have him?
So no, he's
in
owned by
Black
the
Library in
Necrons.
the
Oh, he's
Harlequin
owned by the
section, is that what you were
Necrons.
saying?
Yeah, so like Trazian the Infinite imprisoned him in his museum. But anyway, you should read the Fabius Bile books.
They're fantastic. Spoilers. But what I would love to see is a reunited Emperor's Children coming back with Clone Fulgrim and Fabius pulling all the strings behind the scenes.
That could be cool.
I think that would be
Just
super
wa-
cool.
I guess Primaris, yeah. So not Primaris itself, but like Primaris benefited Special Legion unit troops would also be really cool. I completely forgot about the War of the Spider book.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. I just want to see Fabius twirl a mustache, and I want to see like soap opera villain level.
He
plots
can't
with
grow
him.
any facial hair. He can't even grow any hair on the top of his head.
Too smooth.
He's got long
Smooth
hair. What are you talking
brained,
about,
maybe.
Danny?
Yeah, but he's bald, dude.
he's got that young Hulk Hogan haircut.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's got. He's like a 12. He's like a 12 head.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, brother, I'm here to clone you and turn you into a Primarch.
What you gonna do
For all
when
my
I
clonomaniacs out
your,
here.
when I improve your attacks by 1, brother?
I just want to be a Hulkamaniac. All right, so
Nothing's stopping you. He's still alive.
20-inch needles.
no,
might be
it's
awkward,
it's the racism actually.
It's the horrible person he's become that's stopping him.
Let's see. For me, I want to see good Necron rules. That I'm really excited about that. I also really want to see sisters and how they kind of come into this too, because I've been kind of like really digging that army a lot. Like that
I was going to
meets
say
my
a
play
silence
style.
or a battle.
I'm seeing
Both,
those
sure, why
models,
not?
And I'm wanting to just paint some sisters for fun.
Dude, the models are so good.
Yeah, the multi-pose kits
Yeah.
are really good.
All of them are really good. I can't wait. I placed a giant order at the store this week, so like the rest of the sister stuff comes out, and I think I ordered it all.
You're like, sure. Did you get
Just give
what
me
was that I read
everything.
somewhere of people taking 3 of the fortifications so you can hide your entire army behind ruins?
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah, if you take like 3, like I think it was on like the Biffport Discord, but like if you take 3 of the ruins, they figured out you could hide 140 sisters behind
Hell
it.
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's so good. Such a good-looking piece
Yeah.
of scenery.
I'm very
you know?
excited to build it and paint it. I'm excited to build all this stuff. I want to try the what's it called? The steel wool marble effect on it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna try that out. We'll see how that works. Okay, so next question, man. We've got a decent amount of questions here, boys.
Good. Yeah.
All right,
I'm
so-
glad your mom listens to us so much.
she's a good listener.
Tell Casey I said thanks for the questions.
I will. Will PA make Custodes great again?
John, this one's you first, I think.
Probably not, but they'll be great in soup.
Okay, cool. Interesting.
I think they will. I don't think it'll make them super overpowered.
I see
the
sisters-
problem is that you've got Forge World stuff
Yeah.
that you have to take in, and until Forge World gets properly balanced out, your stuff is just not going to work right. But
yeah,
I think from the supposed rumors of becoming Talons of the Emperor again,
It's
like the
it's
box
not a
set
rumor.
is
They
supposed
announced
to.
it on Warhammer Community. Actually,
That's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Good.
mean,
yeah. Yeah,
having Sisters of Silence actually be part of that benefits them quite a bit.
Here's-
Because being able to take a null unit to negate some of the psychic power stuff is just really strong.
So I think the problem with that though is that people assume they will be troops. They will absolutely not be troops.
I don't know.
I don't think. I think they will be
You know
an
what,
elite choice.
They're elite
I
choices right now.
disagree.
Right. So I think they'll stay that, and your custodes list isn't that elite slot pretty jam packed as is.
Well, what if they do more than just have a single type of unit where it's, instead of just the sisters that are an elite choice, what if they also get a choice that ends up being a troop choice?
They have 3 different choices in the book right now. So they're all 3 different elite
They're only in the
choices.
index right now, right?
No, they released a White Dwarf article with them.
Oh, did they? Okay.
So they have 3 different choices. They're all the same, though.
Yeah.
So I hope that they release an HQ choice for them. I think that would be really cool. Just to have like a character that can buff them maybe, or give them like captain rerolls or something. That'd be fun.
Like I said, it's the right step. I think it makes the army more viable for the next codex.
Sure.
If that makes sense. But I think releasing another elite slot into Custodes isn't going to do huge. I mean, it's nice to have some more psychic defense.
I think they'll get some backfield objective holders though, which I think is nice.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, sort of, I guess, is the answer.
All right.
I mean, I think it'll make them higher tier than they currently are.
And then Necrons. Are Necrons going to be good? What do you guys think about that?
No, Necrons are hot garbage. Nobody that plays them as
Eat
garbage.
all of the dicks.
I'm sorry, that was not directed at you, Danny. It was directed at people that actually play them competitively and try for the ITC best.
So Necrons are in an interesting position, right? Because they're an army where their design and the way they play is incredibly in line with their story and who they are, right? And you have possibly this great character coming back. And we've also we've had armies like Grey Knights, who before weren't great.
Right. And now they're top tier.
One
absolutely.
Psychic Awakening, they are a top tier army now. So I feel if we have a Psychic Awakening come with some reanimation protocol buffs,
God, no.
if we have like a special character like the Silent King coming back, which he will, I'm almost certain of it at this point. I mean, I have no proof of that, but I'm 90% sure we're going to get a Silent King model as like the Necron one. And then please just flayed ones. That's all I want.
Oh man, plastic flayed ones would be so
flayed
rad.
ones.
Yeah, I would like to see a box with plastic flayed ones, and I don't think that has anything to do with the Silent King, though, so I don't know how they would bring those two together.
Well, if Silent King invented Tyranids and flare disease. But anyway, War of the Spider is being heavily publicized and heavily promoted this early on, and is not just on the back of Fabius Bile.
Wait, has it?
Yeah.
Other than just the one preview they did already.
They've announced it. They've talked about the preview of Fabius Bile. I think
that's all. That's all they've done.
That's all they've done. Yep. But still, to me, that's a lot, because like you don't just do like little teaser images for small things, right? I don't feel so. I know it's like I think War of the Spider is going to be honestly a gateway into 9th.
100%. I could see a box,
Yep,
a ninth box set based on tied around the War of the Spider easily.
So I think there's going to be a lot coming out of that book. I think storyline wise, there's going to be a lot coming out of that book. I think it's going to take Necrons to a very good army. I don't say probably top tier. I think it'll put them in line with Chaos.
I think they are so close to top tier right now that it wouldn't take very much for them to be
They're
the best.
It's
right.
kind of like Tau was up top hanging on still against Space Marines, and Psychic Awakening really pushed them, in my opinion, over the top.
Yeah, it's all good stuff, but I'm excited to see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right, so next question. How do you come back from burnout? Space Marines ruined it for me recently, and it's been hard for me to want to get back into the system. That's why I've been doing more Age of Sigmar recently.
Man, what a great question.
It really is. Honestly, coming back from burnout is difficult. You need to temper your expectations and pick up different games. Like Titanicus is a great thing to go to. It kind of allows you to play without playing.
It's a palate cleanser, right?
Yeah. And sometimes it's just what you need to get a little bit of help to get you back into it. Like sometimes painting models for me, like I've said in the past, painting models for me gets tiresome unless I get a challenge. Like if I have a challenge where somebody says, hey, we're going to paint this one model crazily and call it a day, and you just get to have fun doing whatever you want with that. And then it's kind of like a nice little palette cleanser to get you back into painting 11 bajillion Marines or Eldar or Tyranids.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it helps to break up some of the, like, painting those hordes, or, like, just your rank and file guys with painting the character as, like, a reward every once in a while. That's what I've always heard is a good way to get through a lot of stuff. And I've done that before, and it's really worked well for me.
Right.
Yeah, that works. It does 100%.
Man, what a tough question. I've suffered from major burnout before, but like, I think
Major burnout.
from my situation, it's sort of.
Did you
unique,
just
right?
salute, Dave?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So for the past 5 years, on top of playing 40K and painting and hobbying and doing that stuff, I've also done the podcast. I think over that course of time, I've missed 2 episodes overall. So that's
Highest rated episodes ever.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, why do you think I keep coming back to keep you guys grounded in my shittiness?
I was gonna say, I think I was
Doesn't
actually
want us to
on
eclipse
board
him.
for those 2 episodes you missed.
So like that's 100, almost 130 episodes. We do like an hour and a half time, so almost 300 hours of talking about.
Hold on just a second,
Okay.
John. Danny, do you remember the episode that we did with former member Ted, where we were talking about the dildos and the Slaanesh stuff and just absolutely crazy? And then afterwards we figured out that he hadn't been recording the entire episode so far.
my
We wanted to
God.
murder him.
Yeah. Yep, that was true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
John, I'm so glad you're here.
So like, so burnout, it's real and it needs to be managed, because there's times where I'm like, fuck, I don't want to deal with 40K, and I look at it and it's a Wednesday and I'm like, well, shit, I'm gonna deal with 40K today. I guess
I'm talking about it. Yeah.
So the way I manage burnout is kind of like what Dave and Danny already said, like palette cleansers, right? So like I start playing Titanicus, or I'll paint an Age of Sigmar miniature, and Age of Sigmar is a great palette cleanser for 40K.
Yep.
I gotta say, the other thing to do is kind of piggybacking off of what Dave said about setting realistic expectations. If I'm burnt out on 40K, I'm not going to go to a tournament because I'm not in control of that experience.
That's true.
And if I'm already burnt out, then that is not going to do anymore, because if I go there, there's no guarantee that I won't play against 3 Iron Hands players pre-FAQ, or I'll
Right.
play against this or play against that. I have no control over that. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start hitting up my friends and be like, hey, I really want to play a game of 40K, just don't want to play Space Marines. And if you have those relationships, then Danny's going to be like, oh, that's cool. And he'll come kick my ass with a tower or something like that. But like having those conversations and setting those expectations and being realistic with myself and what situations I put myself in is important. Yeah. The other thing that super helped against burnout is my planning. So I've been a big believer on doing 1 hour of hobbying a day. And for me, like this year, I've kind of expanded that to hobbying can be reading my new Titanicus book. It can be assembling miniatures, painting miniatures, but every day I'm going to do 1 hour of something, and holding myself accountable to that, especially when I'm looking at things like painting, is super helpful, because especially with my chaos stuff, I'm seeing just the progress I'm making and all the different painted stuff I'm having. And like when
you're crushing it this year.
Yeah, I mean, like Danny and Dave are coming over and like, when the fuck did you paint Mortarion? I'm like, oh, over the course of the last week, just like an hour a night.
Nice.
So kind of doing that is really helpful for me for burnout. But then also really just being honest with myself, and even just going to Danny and Dave and be like, hey guys, I'm really fucking burnt out on 40K right now. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We'll do this. And then we just
Let's
do that.
make some off 40K fun time sketches, and just have fun with it.
Right. Right. So yeah, that's it kind of,
Or let's watch some Nicolas Cage movies.
fuck yeah. They were so good.
Yeah.
Velocipaster.
Yeah, man. Dave, you missed out when you were on quarantine, but we watched a Nicolas Cage movie that was terrible, but worth it just because there was a water gun fight between Nicolas Cage and his girlfriend's daughter while they were cleaning a motorbike, and his girlfriend's daughter was possessed by the spirit of his dead ex-wife. But the happiest...
Sounds amazing.
It's really not. It's a terrible fucking
No,
movie.
Dave, his girlfriend could only see the dead if she was being choked. So there were all these times where she had to be choked. So Nicolas Cage choking this woman. Oh my God, dude.
Oh.
Anyway,
Yeah, so burnout.
all right. So
what we got?
I gotta go find this movie and watch it.
next question.
I own it digitally.
Why is there such a segregation between AOS players and 40K players? Both games are awesome and have amazing models, so there must be something behind it. I think it's genres. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Age of Sigmar is still recovering from its terrible launch.
Yeah.
It was launched incredibly poorly. It was aimed at modelers, not gamers. And they played up too much of the farcical aspects of it. It's still recovering from that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You have Warhammer Fantasy Battles that was such a beloved game system by the 3 people who played it. But the
Hold
problem,
on. There's 2 people in this chat in this podcast right now that played it.
it's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, all 3 of us.
all 3 of us played the original Warhammer Fantasy Battle. I mean, that's what got me into GW. But again, going back to that,
got you into GW was just
it
strippers.
was Egrim Van Horstman that got me playing GW
Oh man,
games.
that model is cool.
Because I saw him in a window and he looked cool, and then I played Bretonians. But
That makes sense.
it does, because they were part of the plastic box set. I was a poor child. But that transition was handled so poorly that people still have a sour taste about it. Like you even talk now and it's like, oh yeah, where you have a bigger mustache, you win. Ha ha ha. Or like when they make the fun rule about Skaven, how if you roll a 13 on 2 dice, then you win, but then they accidentally leave a mechanic in where you could actually
you
do
do
that.
it.
Yeah. So stuff like that still leaves a sour taste, right? And then General's Handbook came and it's great, but right now it seems to be sort of like a testing ground for future 40K ideas. And I think when more people pick up on that, they go back. The thing that kills me more than anything and makes me just despise Age of Sigmar sometimes, and Danny, I know you agree with me on this one, is the double turn.
Oh god.
It doesn't feel good. It's the seizing of Age of Sigmar, right? Because when I get a double turn, I don't feel good about it. You don't feel good about it. And that's a fundamental flaw in its design. If it has a mechanic where it just feels shitty to both people to do.
I agree.
Dave.
Yeah. I agree with everything John just said. I think the main segregation is that Age of Sigmar models, because they're producing so many more brand new armies and new stuff like that, they are suffering really badly right now from the newest army is hands down the best. And that's a big problem with no fixing, really.
Yeah. And well, I think they have 2 very distinctive set of writing teams right now. So you have some books like Hedonites of Slaanesh and Ozark Bone Reapers who are so power-wise in line with each other, but with everything else just so over the top. And then you have other stuff like Free Cities, which is still strong, but nowhere near in the league of what it is. So you have kind of very disparate power levels of releases. And like the Ogre Kingdoms book that came out as well, or whatever the fuck they're calling them now so they can copyright it.
Ogre and Maw tribes.
The Maw tribes, right? So that book came out, and that's good, but it's nowhere near in the level of these Bone Reapers and Hedonites. So I think again, it seems like you have these 2 separate teams making stuff and just not testing against each other. Yeah. And Dave, you're coming through great.
Models. Yeah.
They are, and I would say honestly, the AOS models are better than the 40K models.
Oh,
mostly.
heads and tails! Like I'm almost going out. Like I'm almost saving right now to go and buy a high elf army.
Oh man, those models
Because those models are
so
fucking
good. They make me want to play
amazing.
so bad.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah.
All right. Next question. Would you guys possibly try in your narrative campaign to use the Cities of Death rules? I personally recommend using them at smaller points because even at 1500, I find they easily add 1 to 2 hours to the game.
Dave.
I'm not familiar with the Cities of Death rules.
Then we absolutely will use them. I looked.
Yeah,
at them.
yes, you are. We used them in the last campaign we played.
That's not the Cities of Death.
Yeah.
That's Urban Conquest.
Urban
Yeah, but
Conquest,
that's the same thing.
Fucking thing. So yeah, it's a bunch of extra different layers of rules, and it's something. So, as I guess the de facto GM for the campaign that we're doing, where I'm kind of looking at everything we have and deciding missions of that. Cities of Death is definitely something I'm looking at as throwing in there. I think that's the great thing about 40K right now is there's so much variety, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing these narrative/open missions where it can get to a point where points wise, Dave might have like a 6,000 point army, and me and Danny are sitting we're like 2,000 points of chaff.
Sure.
I'm not painting 6,000 points.
Oh yeah, you absolutely
you fucking are.
You're contractually obligated to.
I hate you guys
Or
so much.
you have to quit.
But in that
I'm gonna
situation,
drop out after a round 2 anyway, so it's not going to matter.
Oh,
Well,
so pretty typical.
but in that situation, what I'm going to do is look at him, and if Danny has like say 1 Helldrake in his army, and I have 1 Helldrake, and Dave has 1 Helldrake, well, guess what? We're doing a Death from the Skies mission that
Hell
week
yeah.
to kind of balance it out.
Awesome.
So
That just sounds awesome.
I mean, we'll
That's
probably
not
end up
fair.
doing that anyway. But like, so I'm kind of
How late
using.
is the hobby store open? I got to go buy a Helldrake.
No, this late. But like that's kind of where I'm looking at for that. So definitely, I would pull something in from Cities of Death, to use a horrible term that probably is said daily in GW, if the narrative demands me to use a Cities of Death mission. So what I'm trying to do is craft 3-player missions that are thematic and fair, and speak to the story I'm trying to tell with our 3 armies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we may have to we may bring in some people to play like third party armies against us.
Yeah.
Like which could be pretty fun too.
Which would be pretty fun, but yeah.
So-
So like, and part of that, like the story we told with our first mission, which was just the warlords, was I betrayed both of them and teleported away, and then Dave betrayed Danny by escaping and destroying the
I
only
did not.
other.
I thought he was
bastard.
going to get
You
off okay.
fucking
I was
bastard.
just getting the one guy out of the way so that he could get in the other escape pod.
So I
thought
took
we were buddies.
So I
don't
took
believe
that.
so.
I took that
You'll
narrative,
pay
and
for
then
your insolence.
I looked at what was being added. So Dave, through his
Couldn't be
random
less
roll,
afraid of you.
is adding a Lord Discordant to his army. So his army right now is just kind of a Smash Captain and a Lord Discordant. And then Danny's
Seems
army.
perfectly fair.
Danny is bringing a squad of Terminators, right?
Yep.
And I am bringing kind of a squad of Plague Marines and a squad of Poxwalkers. So it makes sense in my head that narratively Dave thinks we're all dead. So him and his Warpsmith are going to pick up this relic in the center of the table. I am going to pick up this relic because I assume Danny and Dave are both dead. So I take just my basic troops to walk to the center of the table. Danny knows we are both alive and is very pissed. So he's getting his elite Terminator bodyguard to deep strike down and attack both of us.
Yep.
So we're essentially next mission, once we're all able to get back together again, I'm going to be playing the relic because that's what this demands. And thematically, we can kind of go from there because it makes sense that Dave would go without an escort when he thinks all of his enemies are dead. And it makes sense that I would go with just my random fucking dudes to pick up stuff.
100%.
And it would make sense that Danny would get his elite bodyguard to find both of us and murder us.
Yep. I'm ready to murder.
Danny doesn't care about the relic. Danny's here for blood.
I just want revenge.
So yeah, that's a really long answer to that, but that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Heck yeah. Dave, do you have any addendums you would like to make?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. We got our last question.
Ooh.
All right. So this question is, how many toasters are enough toasters?
Hey, Rob.
The question is how much toast are you trying to make? I mean, I think enough toasters really was a couple editions ago, but they keep making them and they keep giving like wings. Now there's flying toasters, there's horseback toasters, there's toasters who loosely hover like they want to be grav tanks and be awesome, but they're not. You know, it's too many already.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
3.
Three toasters is too many.
So I just
That was
up.
enough.
I just looked up. I looked. My little 4-slice toaster has 6 settings.
Okay.
So assuming I want all of the bread to be the same warmth and readiness, but different levels of toasting, then I would do setting 1 and setting 2 in the first toaster, setting 3, setting 4 in the second toaster, setting 5, 7, setting 6 on the third toaster.
Nice.
So,
I
yeah.
Why
like
wouldn't you
that.
just buy one of the big toasters they use at like a,
Kind of fucking
continental
crazy
breakfast?
hotel bed and breakfast do you think I'm running where I'm going to need to have like 24 toast capacity in one machine?
I mean, really, then you just need one toaster, though. That's all I'm saying. So
Ever.
one. Well, really, the answer is one toaster.
It just has to
is
be
all
the
you
right
need.
size for the job that you need.
It just has to be super big.
Rob
fair.
says, trick question, no such number exists.
Wrong. We just
Wrong. We just
scientifically
answered
proved it.
that. We specifically answered that.
All right. And that kind of goes over our listener questions. Thanks so much for submitting these, guys. This was super fun. I'm really glad
Oh
that
yeah,
we got to do
it
this.
really was. Yeah, and we'll be right back. You've mastered the art of the Stanley. You've downloaded the ITC Battles app. You've loaded your dice to guarantee your charge. Now perfect your game with Mob Rules measuring accessories. Made of the finest acrylic and carrying the skill of the Danny, the tactics of the Dave, and something positive about John. Get yours now at hammerheadgames.net. And we're back.
We are back.
We're
so back.
Danny, thank you for setting up. That Q&A session was quite wonderful. Even
it was enjoyable.
if I did have to stay off Discord, I even turned off notifications
Aw.
because otherwise it shows me literally the entire question. But I'm like, no, I'm going to turn off notifications there. I would like to do that again sometime. That's pretty fun.
For sure. Yeah, we should definitely do that again.
And then, yeah, so we posted that up on our Patreon Discord. We'll even put it up on a Facebook page as well for maximum shit talking.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would
Get
be
it
nice
out
if
there.
we do it again to do it where we get the listener into the chat on Discord and let him actually ask the question himself to the three of us
yeah.
instead of having one of us
So
be the
so
moderator.
maybe
I like it.
Maybe I can set that up next time, so I'll actually record people saying it. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, so that's about it for us. Upcoming next couple of weeks here, we have Saga of the Beast coming, which I know super excited about there. Gazgul, man,
Hell yeah.
they previewed some rules. That guy can fuck.
Is that what he's doing?
Dude.
Oh yeah, don't let him
what?
anywhere near
I
you.
I think he's crap.
Much like me and your
because he
mom,
can't
if you
even
put me
benefit from
within
his
an
own
inch of her.
rules, John, you know. I just oh wait, that's just what the internet is saying because they don't understand how interactions work half the time.
I think he's really solid.
I think he's really solid. Is there better choices? Yeah, but I think you can build a really solid golf army around him.
I think he's really fun. I think you can put him in any army.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can do a lot with him. He's got a 2-up when he's next to Makari. So
Which he should always be.
What? No, he does
He
not
has a
have a
2-up.
2+ invulnerable save
what Makari gives a bubble, I thought.
of a 6+ field no pain.
Yeah.
Is it a
Makari
6+?
just has a 2-up because he's lucky.
He's super lucky.
Super lucky. We also get our first Primaris Space Wolf character
Yeah,
who
he
looks
looks great.
amazing, jumping
Well,
off
that
of
is the
rubble.
Second.
best looking Primaris special character
They
they
made
made
a
so far.
lieutenant.
Oh, that's right. They had a Primaris, first named
There you go.
Primaris Space Wolf character. Right. And then after that, we go into Engine War, which is toasters versus
Nobody's interested in
emotions
that.
versus
They can just skip
Knights.
over Engine
knights, both variety. I'm excited to see what they do
Man,
with
I'm
Chaos
very
Demons.
oh, dude, I cannot wait to see. I want to see Chaos Knights so bad.
So here's the thing for me, right? Chaos Demons are in a
Mm-hmm.
weird spot right now where they're really not great. But again, we've seen Grey Knights, and I know Wallace just did amazing things with demons. But
Yeah.
we've seen Grey Knights turn really quickly. We're going to see Necrons, I feel, turn really quickly. I think the same thing's going to go with demons. Demons are going to get some nasty, nasty stuff from this.
Yep.
And then after that, War of the Spider, which, God, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Is it
well,
War
we'll
of the Spider?
see. We'll see if it's going to be War of the Spider.
Oh.
We don't know
Hold
yet.
on,
that's
I
fair.
think I was going to say, isn't there one in between?
I think there's
Engine War?
two more after Engine War.
Yeah.
God, why are
Yeah,
they
'cause you've got,
teasing me so hard
Death
on this?
Watch, you've got Sisters of Battle still.
I
Technically, you have
painted them-
Necrons.
And to be fair, War of the Spider might not be the last
It
one.
might not be, but I've already painted all my stuff purple and gold. I have narrative reason to change to that Legion if it has better rules.
Yeah, what's your narrative reason? They're cooler.
They're better on the
they've
table.
always been Emperor's Children. They've always been
are you
purple and
talking about?
gold. Yeah,
Yeah.
what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
you mean like Mortarion?
See, shut your fucking mouth, Danny. That's about all I can say on that one. Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
know.
Oh man, these upcoming releases are so good looking. The only thing that sucks is Engine War's getting some new models that are just hot garbage, in my opinion.
What are the models are they getting?
I don't know. My wings don't flap, flyboys, and
They're getting amazing. That's right. All that cool AdMech shit is coming out with Engine
Yep.
War.
Like
No,
6
John,
new
we all
units.
agreed that we would not. We would just lie about. We thought it was garbage. Remember?
Oh,
Eight
all
new
those
units.
amazing, beautiful garbage models are coming out with Engine War.
Maybe 8. I think 7 at least.
7 new models.
7 new units.
Something.
think 7
Yeah,
units
because
for
the
them?
the plane is 3.
Yeah, the plane is 3 different variants.
Oh,
There's
okay,
2
yeah.
variants of Flappy Boys, and there's 2 variants of Dog Riders.
Yeah. Hey. So yeah, that's
You know,
all
if you
coming
wanted
up.
to play Cyber Dogs, why not just play Space Wolves? They're getting amazing new rules.
They are getting amazing.
I don't like
rules.
Vikings.
No. Hey,
That's
just
a lie.
just before we go, I want to
You're a Viking.
I want to provide some stuff here before we clock out. We're gonna have the last 2 weeks of YouTube comments out of context without telling you what video they're from.
Oh, cool.
So someone says, "Very nice."
Oh, nice. Thanks, man.
For sweet God's sake, please put a timestamp on the Grey Knights part.
Okay.
Love how you talk about all these podcasts, but provide no links or spellings. Search for them. I give up on adding the others. And that's been our YouTube comments for the past 2 weeks.
Nice.
We're so popular.
We had like 69 new followers, though.
We
Nice.
did get a bunch of new ones, yeah. So what that last person was talking about was the Rogue Trader Network, which is our coalition of podcast pals, starting, of course, on the very far south. We're going to go geographically for this. So,
Oh, okay.
So who?
Well, wait. Who's the furthest south, though?
Hold on.
Yeah,
We're the Rogue Trader Network.
Yes.
Where podcasting is magic.
yeah. Podcasting is magic.
No, it's not.
Well, let's start with the original, the best, the most attractive, the highest ITC placed one, the Mob Rules podcast.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Danny, for letting that be true. Mob Rules, humblest of 40K shit talking podcasts, coming
We're so
to you
humble.
every 2 weeks. Then we have our other founders in Seth and the Dangly Boys, the good old
And
Dukes
the
of
dangly girl.
and the Dangly Girl, the Dukes of Hazard of 40K podcasting.
Ooh, does that make Seth Uncle Jesse, Cooter, or
I don't
or
know
Boss
enough
Hog?
about that show to answer
Clearly,
that question.
Boss Hog. Clearly.
Clearly. So yeah,
Fucking calling you out, man.
Wait, which one's Roscoe Pico Train?
the girl.
What?
No, the girl has to be Daisy.
Who even is
Roscoe P. Coltrane is the sheriff.
Roscoe P. Coltrane. He's not saying 3 different names. Yeah.
that? All right, so moving on to
Yeah,
a show because
Dangly Boys.
Yeah, I've never seen that show before. But
After that, we have the High Lords of Terra coming at you too. I think
Those
they're
guys are
geographically
more
next.
like a fine NBC drama.
oh,
Yeah.
sure. They're the Law and Order to our
Have they had
Mad
multiple
TV.
variations of their podcast?
We're the house where shit doesn't make sense for the first hour, but then they wrap it up neatly in the last 5 minutes.
Ba-bum.
And then we have the NZ40 Cabal.
Yep.
Which is just for, again, I take feedback great. So it's NZ40 Cabal
With a K.
with a K, because it's like
Right.
40K, but
Or-
40
let's-
Cabal.
40K Abel.
40K Abel. Covering the New Zealand, which I'm assuming is some made-up island off the coast of the firmament.
Who fucking knows,
Who
dude?
fucking knows? But they cover that New Zealand 40K
I think
ITC.
they have elves and hobbits, right?
I think so.
No, only as extras.
Only as extras. Yeah, no, they sure do.
So if you had to now we've equated the other podcasts as shows from either the past or current running shows. Danny, what would your take of the NZ40 Cabal be in relation to American television?
Oh,
Man, that's a great one.
that's a really good question, Dave. So I'm equating it. Do I have to pick a network?
No,
No,
you could pick
just
just a show
TV
if you
show.
want.
Oh, sure.
Or you
Okay.
could go network if you want to, if you thought maybe it was like the HGTV, of podcasts or
The
something.
Oprah network of podcasts.
Now I can't get that out of my head. Now it's like House Hunters International or something. I don't know.
It's truth.
I was thinking after listening to them, they're kind of like daytime soaps,
Well, I mean, New Zealand and Australia are basically the same place.
Oh,
So
yeah.
clearly it's the crocodile hunter of our network.
Oh man,
Absolutely, as a Scottish person who's been called English, I completely agree with that line of thought, and in no way imagine them being offended by that. But check out all the great shows. If you
No, guys, it's Flight of the Conchords. I mean, come on.
that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
sorry. All I can picture is them playing their games, me like, crikey, I'm gonna take me venom and shove it right up his ass.
Cool, I rolled a 1. So yeah, definitely. If you like this show, 1, what the fuck is wrong with you? And 2, check out either Dangly Boys, High Lords of Terra, or NZ40 Cabal, but not all of them. That's too much.
Maybe all at once.
Just pick one.
One final question, John.
Yeah.
Will you take the time to put the links in
Oh,
the description for the podcast on both formats.
I will say the last time I tried to put a link in the description, it made us get kicked off of Apple Podcasts for like 2 episodes, but I probably won't. But I will spell them in the descriptions.
Nice.
So you can Google, you're a grown adult listener, you found this shit, you can find other shit.
All right,
Somehow.
I'll go in and edit the YouTube after it posts.
Beautiful, Dave. That's what you're there for.
I will hopefully be awake anyway.
Fingers
Doing all my
crossed.
sharing. Yeah.
Hopefully. But yeah,
Hopefully.
So hey, I want to also check out 40K Stat Center. We made a really nice post about them at the start of this episode.
They are good guys.
Falcon is a great guy. Val's a great guy.
Just Stat Center, nothing else.
But yeah, we will definitely be, by the way, making an audio bumper into our tournament games, ripping that off because we like Crop Center too much. But yeah, definitely check those guys out. And then we will see you in 2 weeks to hopefully talk about some furries.
2 weeks.
And some mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
So anyway, from Mob Rules, I've been John.
I've been Danny.
We'll see you next time.